We're so glad to be with you today. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. We are going to have all the tight ends, basically every important tight end in the league is behind us on this field, practicing, hanging out. They've been spending a lot of time together. A really special event that happens here. Dan Orlovsky, Laura Rutledge with you. We're going to have some guests joining us. As I said, George Kittle coming your way, Trey McBride. Dan's going to get out on the field in just a little bit. Ready to throw?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
He's trying to get warmed up.
Every tight end room from the NFL is represented.
It's really neat. But first, we do have some breaking news to get to today. Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show shared some of the intentions for his future. Listen to this.
Is it, safe to say that this is your last year playing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a one-year deal. Steelers didn't need to, put any extra years on that or anything. So, this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I mean, I played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run, and I've enjoyed it. And what better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win.
What was your initial reaction, Dan, when you saw this from Aaron Rodgers? Now we know that it's one more year of him, and then that's it.
Yeah, not surprised. It kind of felt like this was going to be the last year for Aaron Rodgers. It took Aaron a while to at least get physically and mentally fully into being a Pittsburgh Steeler and give the Steelers organization credit that they waited on Aaron. Before we get into what the season is going to look like and the potential, it is important, everybody, to just sit back. Aaron's words, 20 years. By the end of the season, he more than likely will be in the top 5 ever in the history of the league in starts, completions, attempts, yards, wins, touchdowns. I mean, when we say we're talking about one of the all-time greats, it's a reality. So there is a part that does feel Derek Jeter farewell tour part of that, just making sure that everyone, when you have that chance to watch him Week 10, 11, 12, and so on, that this could be, the last few weeks to just appreciate one of the all-time greats. But then there's a lot of expectations of okay, this is the last go-round, and in his words, with a trademark organization.
It's hard for me right now to see the Steelers as a Super Bowl contender. But when you think about what Rodgers would want for this year, for his final year with such a storied career, how can they do what they need to do around him? How can he do what's necessary to get them to at least be a contender in the postseason?
I don't believe Aaron Rodgers plays this year unless he truly felt that team could be a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I agree that I don't see them as that. Can they get to that? One, the offensive line would have to play much better. Aaron's going to have to get protected much more than he did with his time with the New York Jets. Two, we know they had DK Metcalf. Pat Freiermuth's a very young and emerging tight end. Somebody else is going to have to step forward as a pass-catching threat. They're going to have to run the football really well, and then their defense is going to have to play better and more consistent than it did last year. And then also, can he stay healthy? Can he be his very best at the end of the season? Those are a lot of question marks that, if they're all yeses, it's a dream season for both him and the Steelers.
Again, we'll continue to see if he says anything else about this, but today telling the Pat McAfee show that most likely this is his last year. Yeah. Dan, you talked earlier about the Hall of Famer that Aaron Rodgers will be and his great career and all of that, but let's talk specifically about what we'll see on the field. Arthur Smith as the offensive coordinator. How do you expect him to build an offense around Aaron that he can have success in?
There's got to be compromise for the first time in maybe a long time. Maybe compromise isn't the word, but adjustment from Aaron and the offense. Aaron played in the same offense for the great majority of the last 10 years or so, and even when things went awry or south in New York, it felt like the system and the scheme, which is that West Coast rhythm and timing offense that he had in Green Bay, was brought a little bit to New York. Arthur Smith likes to put the quarterback under center, run the football on a consistent basis, and then take play-action shots. And so there's got to be the marriage from Arthur Smith, their play caller, of giving Aaron some of the stuff that he knows inside and out and has incredible comfort with. And then Aaron willing to buy into doing some of the stuff that Arthur Smith has been unbelievably successful at. And I think if, both parties can really come to that resolution, there's the chance for their offense to have some success if that offensive line gets a lot better. I think the second thing is they have to start somewhat solid. I mean, the last half of their season, they're going to play the Chargers, the Bengals, the Bills, the Ravens, the Lions, the Ravens again. I mean, that's a
gauntlet.
Brutal final 7 or 8 week stretch. And so it's going to be really important for this kind of new group to at least keep it afloat early on to see if they can gel when it matters the most back half of the season.
You can see the wind whipping around here. We get a little weather in the area.
It's a little cell north.
A little cell moving around, but